Well, right now the monsters are trying to strip away every chance that the crew has, and they've slipped around to block the crew from being able to get away and get up to those rocket fuels. They've marched a bunch of monsters in with the intention of killing the robot. That's one of the tools that the crew has at this point, and there isn't a lot that really can be done to prevent the monsters from winning if they can prevent these big effects. The robot's one of them. It can protect the characters, as it's doing right here, but now it's going to be dead. And not being able to get to this, well, that's going to limit what the comm beamer can possibly do. The comm beamer only does 4 dice. It's not really enough to kill those big creatures. It's close. You might be able to wipe out a bunch of them, but there aren't many crew members left. Anyway, we'll do some die rolling against that robot and see if we kill it. If we don't kill it, it's very, very bad for the monsters. They're in trouble. Let's see what we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice, or 6 monsters. That's 24 dice, 26 dice. Any reasonable roll, they will kill the robot, and then they have to eat it, and one of the monsters will have something funny happen to them. And yeah, the monsters got him. I didn't even have to roll 6 of the dice to see that. But, and the result, the baby ate it and ended up fragmenting, which is not a great result for the crew. But the comm beamer would be able to kill those. The problem is the crew has to be kind of adjacent because the monsters are within one doorway. It just gives them a problem situation. They could run up here and hit these, but if they do that, likewise, they're leaving, basically, they have to leave one crew member in the way to block that big horde of monsters, if that's the case. And there aren't a lot of crew members. There's only 4 left. Well, we'll see what we can do. Well, the crew engaged the one monster blocking their way and finished them off here, and they marched up here out of range of this big pile. Now, here's the thing. The big pile has to be kind of careful as well, because if it gets in the wrong place in a corridor, it can be shot without necessarily being able to be hit. We've got fast crew members left. 3 of the 4 are speed 3 guys, and that's kind of potent. The monsters are going to grow fragments, I think, up to babies. Give them a little bit of mobility there and see what they can do, but they're not going to be able to get much in there. Now, part of them kind of wants to grow adults because they can get better attacks in, or babies into adults, because they could get a couple of attacks in and maybe wipe out 2 more crew members. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm in not necessarily a time limit here, but I want to reduce the crew as quickly as possible. And those monsters have spread out because there's a big advantage to the crew to seeing a clump of monsters. Most of the weapons that I'm really afraid of are ones that can wipe them all out. I think the crew's had it here. I'm going to get 8 dice each on a couple of these kind of weaker crew members, and then probably be able to wipe out the bigger ones. And that's exactly what we see, and the crew's going to kind of be throwing itself into position to do what it can, see if it can finish these off. The cook is going to run back here, and he's going to shoot the comm beamer into here, holding that one position there. And, you know, Sarge could probably kill something, but he's going to run back here. It's not totally safe, though. That's the problem. 1, 2, 3, 1... he just has no good options here because he can't get to this other fuel pod. He's going to face 8 dice, and that's probably enough to finish him off, but I think that's my best chance. Alright, well, we'll try the comm beamer and see if we can do some damage to those. And we got kind of lucky. I mean, we killed one of the big guys, but, you know, it's this never-ending stream at this point, And the question here is, do I want to lay a bunch of eggs, kind of position myself for later, or do I want to grow these fragments? I think I'm going to lay eggs. The fragments aren't going to help me much anyway if I turn them into babies. They're too far from everything that's going on. But with all those extra eggs, it becomes a much, much harder job. Of course, the rocket fuel will get rid of those, but, well, we'll see. And the monsters have positioned themselves. They have a slight chance of getting the cook and are not too bad a chance of killing the Sarge. So, we'll see if that works. Down to one crew member. Not much he can do. He can't even run to try to save himself in the saucer or anything at this point. Well, no. So all he's got is his comm beamer, and, well, he's going to shoot those guys because it's kind of the best, most damage he can do, basically. And after the monsters move, I didn't even grow their eggs are all going to hatch. They've got 20 dice against the cook, right? That means if any one die is not a 1, well, that one's not a 1. So the cook's dead as well. And it was another monster victory. I still tell you though, damn it. But this was a fairly played one. And, you know, I don't feel like the monsters had a huge advantage. I don't feel like I screwed up too badly with the crew because I caught myself on the turn where I saw myself making a huge mistake. But it's quite possible I made other mistakes earlier with them. However, this certainly does not jibe with my understanding of the game as of before. Maybe I'm usually sloppier with my monsters when I'm not on camera. I don't know. And I'm not playing them. Maybe I cheat for the crew. I don't know. Anyway, there you have it. And we'll see... at least you guys get to see a fairly played disproof of my conjecture. All right.